Test, test. All right, let's get into some games. Do we use the White Sox team? I'm going to go back to the regular team. I did start winning with the White Sox team, so if I can win the White Sox team, I should, in theory, be able to win with the regular team. Let's see, first game and already opponent is not interested. All right, we'll back out and get a new one. I probably could spend and get some better players, better pitchers, but it is what it is. Finally got all of the high diamonds, but I haven't finished collecting everybody. This is O'Neal, Cruz, and Yamamoto. That's their captains. First pitch, pretty shallow. It's going to fly out, though. Thought it might bloop.
Batting second, the designated hitter, Corey Seager.
Inside ball. Ball inside. Ah! 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball inside.
Guys willing to throw the cutter upstairs over the plate? It is 97, so makes sense.
Counts full.
102 on the corner. This game looks like it's still on All-Star.
Andrew McCutcheon.
That's
Yeah, I was
a
going
ball.
to say, I'm pretty sure this Ohtani features a sinker. No slider, maybe just the sweeper? Correct.
Aye! 1 ball,
Say the fast stuff's feeling pretty fast to start it off. Ooh. Gonna make me wait. All right. Sounds good.
Leading off for New York, the first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Aye.
Circle change. Wasn't actually supposed to fully dot like that, but we'll take it.
Ball one.
Vlad Jr. in the leadoff spot. Very interesting. See what the rest of this lineup is made of. Against Sale, you might be looking for a slider, but doesn't mean it's still going to be easy to hit.
Ball.
That one, I'm expecting him to look for a sinker as soon as he sees that away. But then it never comes back over the plate.
That's out. That's a ball.
I was hoping the opposite would happen there. Thinking I'd throw him enough fastballs, but here you go, 3-0.
Ball four. Take your base. Hey. 0-1.
Off with the pitch, good throw, called safe. All right, that was a pretty good throw, but I feel like the tag was super slow. It might just be because Trey Turner's out of position. I feel like those are the kinds of things when you do play out of position, but it doesn't get really talked about that much.
No. Inside. Aye. 2-2 to count.
Oh no.
Out.
Does my camera look super dark? It looks normal on one screen, but it looks really dark on my other screen.
That ball went out. Aye. 1-1. Nope. Inside. Ball two.
There we go. Just increase brightness a little bit.
Batting seven, the shortstop, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Hey.
It's a bit better, I think.
Ball one.
There's the splitter. I got beat on the four seam a few times, so I thought that was coming for sure. Or a sinker at best.
1-0. Hey. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aye.
And same thing. 2 fastballs and then not a fastball.
Foul ball.
Let's go, Fernando.
Waited on the slider. Punched it up the middle.
Batting six, the left fielder, Jason Dominguez.
Ball, that pitch is up.
Let's go.
This time it looks like you got a bit of a better jump. Ball was not going to beat him that time. Dominguez is batting 209. Is a pop out any different than a foul ball strikeout at that point? I don't think so.
0-1's the count.
Because a pop out would technically give him a chance to run like base running cheese, but
No balls, 2 strikes.
in most cases that probably ends up in my favor anyway.
Let's go. Come on.
Ah! 0-1. Ball. Ball 2.
I feel like he probably swung at that pitch. Way early on the change. Staying on the sinker.
Full count.
I was gonna say I'm gonna keep throwing that pitch until they take it.
Take your base, ball 4.
Fortunately, couldn't really locate the sinker in that at bat. And the changeups are kind of going down the middle, so
8-2. 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
not quite there. Yikes.
Nope, that's a ball.
Yeah, we definitely needed something that he hadn't seen all inning. High and away slider. Definitely fits the bill.
Aye. 0-1's the count. Aye. No balls, 2 strikes.
No way. Swing it 2 out of the zone and then take strike 3. Classic. Got 2 or 3 perfect so far in this game, and then like everything else is a swing that's not even close. Especially on the fastballs. Do I bother taking third? Might as well.
No, he's safe.
Pretty close. I think that's Juan Soto in right field. The only reason I went, but maybe it's Tatis.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It was a little bit off the plate.
Here you go.
Okay.
Get real.
Gonna give me one more chance. I was thinking it was either going to be a fastball or a splitter out of the zone. There you go. All right, now I feel like they've seen everything from Chris Sale, and I don't think I'm going to get many swings and misses the rest of the game. So this is just a matter of how many foul balls can I earn until they hit one into the ground. Cool.
Unbelievable.
Let's go. Got him.
Oh, come on. What was that?
Move it.
All right, pretty quick inning.
Out. Come on.
Strikeout, and then I think 2 first pitch ground balls. World Baseball Classic rematch right here. Hopefully that drops. Nope. Got out way farther than I expected.
Got him.
I feel like my PCI placement has been better than I expected so far.
Ball, that's in.
It's a matter of like swinging at the right pitches. A little bit better timing.
Balls, no strikes.
Fastballs down the middle have been my biggest issue so far in this game. I did not swing at that pitch. 0% chance. Unfortunately, those ones where you like barely touch the button, but they are in a bad spot where you don't get a real swing animation, you can't really check those.
Hey!
Oh, he started
He's out.
out at first. Okay, he started over there like it was going to go past him, and then he just, when I dove, he got like a second boost.
Hey!
That's that 2018 Frank Thomas.
0-1.
2019, I think it was. Ding.
The batter, number 50, designated hitter, O'Neal.
Starting to spot the slider a bit better. As the game's gone on, the control's gotten slightly better. At least to the point where it's not like a foul ball home runs every other swing.
What do you got?
Still doing nothing with that fastball, unfortunately.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think it's time to look for it. I mean, I definitely have been. It's just I always look for it in the times where they're ready to throw the splitter.
Out. One ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, got a lot closer that time. Not there yet, though.
Hey! 1.
The main thing is that not many of the other types of pitches are coming in for strikes. It's just the hard stuff.
Ball, that's inside. The count's full.
There we go. A little bit under it, but we'll take it. Frank Thomas can do that. Get through. Hit the bag.
No, he's out.
It's a shortstop Tatis card. Alright, we finally take the lead. See if we can hang on to it. Oh, I also have a shortstop Tatis. I don't know why
He's
I
out.
thought he was an outfielder as well. It's got to be a flashback of some kind. Some of these cards have been in my lineup for like 6 or 8 months, and I haven't really touched it.
Aye.
That's probably an exaggeration, but you know, a lot of them probably did come out around like July, August.
He's out.
Nice and clean.
Ball, down.
And tied up the game. Both of our first basemen hit home runs. '50th home run for Vlad out of the leadoff spot.
Ball, that pitch is out. Aye.
And can't end the inning right there. I haven't really thrown that pitch too much this game, so I didn't feel like you'd be sitting on it, but some people I feel like just sit on that pitch like the whole game,
Ball,
regardless. They just start their PCI up there and everything.
out.
Slider was in a good spot, so we're going to give up the lead very quickly, but just a solo homer. Get it right back. Sweeper stayed on the plate.
Now pitching.
Otani's coming out. Roki's coming in.
Aye.
See if that Otani card stays into DH or something like that. I don't think
1 and 1.
I don't think that Otani card was even in the lineup. Now that I think about it, I don't think I faced a Shohei.
Aye.
No foul ball. It's tough.
Ball, that's low.
A little bit on top of the slider.
He's out.
That sinker looks so slow compared to the fastball.
Aye.
All right, other than that first pitch sweeper, that was not a very good inning. But in any case, we take the lead. Just a lot of ugly swings after that.
What do you got? Ball, that's off the plate. Counts 1-0. That's ball 2.
To the wall. See what McCutcheon's got. Ah, not quite. Give up the lead once again. Probably a good time to take Sale out, actually. Yeah, we're going to make that happen. Go to another Red Sox. Actually, is that Sale card a Sock or is it a Brave? Don't know if I ever paid attention. Knowing in a year like this that when the White Sox don't have many cards, it doesn't end up being like a flashback White Sox card. Couldn't catch a break on a lot of those legends this year. Through. Crazy stretch from Vlad Jr. I feel like that's not an animation you see very often. It's a good pitch, though. Man. These are all pretty close. Still just looking for a fastball, not getting it. Until I stop looking for it, that's when I finally get the fastball.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
I'm going to look splitter on this pitch. Okay. Alright, Whitlock only threw 5 pitches. There's a lefty up, but I think there's 2 righties after that. Ramirez and Sanchez, so switch hitter and righty. And then another righty. Although by the time we get to the top of the lineup, I'll probably need a new pitcher anyway. Perfect. If that stays on the plate, very good chance it's a home run.
Now batting, catcher Gary Sanchez.
Nope, outside. Ball 2.
All right, throwing a lot low in the zone in this game, so let's go upstairs one time. Oh, I thought that was strike 3. Otherwise, I would have saved that pitch for strike 3. This guy's Gary Sanchez is one speed faster than mine. Hit the bag. Way early on these sliders. Coming in at 86. 100 off the bat. Does it have enough backspin? Nope. 22-degree launch angle. Yeah, it was a little too low. Inside outed. I missed that. Just on top. See if the lefty comes in here. 2 righties up next, but if he gets the lefty out, then you get to bring in a new pitcher to start the next inning. Morejon. The usual. The usual pitch mix. I have them in my bullpen, but I don't know if I've used them very much. I think I might have 4 lefties. I feel like I've been carrying 4 lefties for most of the year.
Hey, stay hot.
I'll probably do the same. I'm gonna see if I can get 2 batters out of this righty and then go to a lefty. Whitlock's had some pretty quick at-bats, it seems. Oh, never mind. Lefty's already up. Perfect. Should I do the same? Morejon?
Now pitching. Adrian Morejon.
Get there, get there.
Got him.
Unbelievable.
To the left, we've got 2 of these red circles on more or less routine fly balls in this inning. Trout's down below 300.
Now pitching.
Kutch is going to face a righty. It's going to be Eric Gagne, no sinker.
Gagne.
Slurve slider. He's got that big curveball we all know. Kind of overshadows his pretty nice changeup too.
0-2 is the count.
Had a feeling if it wasn't going to be a curveball, it would be another fastball down the middle. Pretty much all I was trying to do with it. This is the 9th inning. I thought it was like the 7th. Wait, is it a slurve? It's not even a regular curveball anymore. The regular curve was just getting smashed, I guess. But then I guess they probably have the slowest slurve that you can get, but it only goes down to 74.
Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3.
Ah, I needed that one. My McCutcheon is 99 speed. I was not aware of this.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Safe easily. Nice. I just need to not strike out. I also need to not line out. Soto had a pretty good throw earlier, so I'm going to stay at second. Get through. Ah, I can't even run on that. It's directly at him. I think we might see a different pitcher here.
Now pitching.
Munoz got the sinker and a changeup and a primary slider. Starts it off with a fastball anyway.
Ball 1.
Back-to-back fastballs. The question is, do we see another one? Another hard hit ball. That was a, I would say, very good swing. Pushed the PCI kind of far, but I would say that was an excellent swing.
Ball, that's down.
All right. Good start.
Fielder number 24. Jason Dominguez.
That could have been a walk-off, and I'm glad they didn't swing. Wasn't looking for a slider, I guess. All right, we're going to take it to extras.
Get there. Out. Let's go. Water here. Hey. 0-1.
Oh, just late. Got good speed out there. We're going to take him to third. Look, I haven't been very good. What's up, Eradicator? How you doing, man? We're trying to not choke this game away. That is a crazy flip to first.
He's out.
Ready for MLB 26? Ready for the White Sox season?
Second baseman, Trey Turner.
Hey, you got this. That's a ball.
Just baseball top 100. Any notables? Any surprises? Oh my goodness. That's rough. All right, they're going to start with the guy on second. Do they have speed? Doesn't matter because it'll be a pinch runner if they don't. It's Jason Dominguez out there.
Ball, that's outside.
Third bunt attempt of the game. Third pop out. It's time for a new pitcher just to get another look. I feel like I need someone with... Is it worth it to have velo? I'm going to say yes. The home run they hit, first one,
Hey.
was on a fastball low and in.
0-1's the count.
It was 96. That one's 101. Top 10 was full of sadness. Aiden Miller, Colt Emerson, Connor Griffin were all top 6. Passed on the first 2 for Jacob Gonzalez, Connor for Hagen. Yeah. I forgot we passed on people. Because Jacob Gonzalez, was he like a number 6 pick or something? Or was he the guy that we got for 10th? Yeah. There's been a lot of that for sure. Okay, that's my first loss in a few games. We're going to call that a warm-up game and try again. Who's 15th? Dang. Oh, yeah, because that would have been like 2-3 years ago. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this year. I would say I don't have any expectations, but you know, the ceiling could be okay with any number of young guys making something happen. They have the potential for being a fun team. That's about it. Last minute audible, you front office nerd making the pick instead of the guys who do it for a living. Gotcha. We're facing Nolan Ryan in this game. Should be fun, yeah. If they can flirt with 500, it's going to be a super fun season. Especially, it's just like, if a team goes 500, they're always just one run away from, like, one nice little streak away from getting to the playoffs.
For Chicago, the second baseman, Trey
So it always makes it more interesting. Unless it's a team that has, like, expectations. You have expectations and then you're going 500, every game feels frustrating. Every win feels like, why couldn't you do this last game when you lost? That was one problem with the 2019, no, the 2020 and 2021 White Sox, is that they could not go on win streaks. They would score 10 and then they would get shut out like the next game game or two.
2-2.
So they could never really get more than like a 2-game win streak, I feel. That's why, to me, 2021 was pretty frustrating to watch, even though they made the playoffs. it felt like they should be doing a lot better than they were. Oh my god, where was this last game? I'm going to chalk it up to playing in a Major League Park last game. We'll just blame it on that. Trey Turner leads off the game with a homer. Up the middle, right into the glove. Should have gotten them to about 68 to 70, but they kept bringing on Iser and Tyler Alexander. Yeah, absolutely. Thankfully, they put a little bit money into the pen. A couple of guys who were out of the league. Sir Anthony Dominguez can be the closer. And I think he's only closed for like 1 or 2 seasons or something like that. I think he's always been more of a setup guy, but good stuff at least. I feel like they could still... I don't know who's available, but I feel like they have room for another bullpen guy. 100 inherited runners to score. 2 guys, 100 runs. That's actually crazy because they probably pitched in 50 games each, right? So they probably gave up an average of like 1 inherited run per outing, something like that. Invisible? Do you mean directional? Hi, Nikolai. And that's exactly why I put invisible in my title instead of no PCI, because I usually call it no PCI. And then someone comes in with the kappa of directional. And then I have to explain myself. That's what would always happen. Whenever someone new came into the stream, they would be asking, why are you playing directional? 72 and 30, so 100 games. So 1 per is that's actually insane. The audacity of this man. How you doing, sir? You gearing up for MLB 26? We got to get you guys to petition SDS to bring back year-to-year saves, because that's an easy lane to get chat franchise back on.
No, that missed. That's a ball.
Good lead.
1-0.
That's another thing about 2021 is they came into the season without 5 major league starters. And I'll never forgive them for that. And I think it's like an underrated part of like how that season went down. So a lot of people will talk about like overpaying for the bullpen, not filling certain holes, whatever. I feel like one thing that never really got talked about was the fact that they came in with like maybe 3 major league starters, 1 good player who was going from, I think it was Kopech probably, going from the bullpen to the starting role, and then just like, I don't remember what they did with the 5 spot. That was out somehow? Okay, I'll take it. I just kind of threw it. Didn't even try to perfect it, and it landed right in his glove. Right on the bag. Blown saves need to be celebrated? Are we tanking? PCI looks so pale there. It is kind of crazy though that they broke the record, and because of whatever happened, they couldn't even get a top 10 pick for that. And then I think last year they find their way into the number 1 pick somehow. So Jeremy Haber, Rick's assistant, made the Gonzalez pick. I was trying to remember his name. Okay. Sounds familiar. Did you hear that podcast, by the way? I think it's like there are like 2 former Twins GMs or something like that. They have a podcast, and they had Rick Hahn on, I want to say maybe 4 or 6 months ago. And I was fully expecting him to like get on and just like, I don't know, not blast, but like unearth a lot of dirt from the Reinsdorf situation with Rick Hahn. But honestly, he was like, it was kind of disappointing because he was very like protective of Jerry Reinsdorf. He only had like good things to say, and he was like taking all the blame,
Full count.
which I feel like just doesn't add up with how everything went down.
Hut!
Still angling for a job in baseball at some point. That makes sense. Got a raw deal. Yeah, that like it seemed like a lot of the moves that happened there, starting with Tony La Russa to the Jake Berger trade. There's a lot of stuff that happened that seemed like it wasn't really Rick Hahn pulling the strings at that point.
Hiya! No balls.
And
one
yeah,
strike.
he didn't say one wrong thing about Jerry Reinsdorf. He put all the blame on himself. He even said like he said that before the rebuild happened, or no, like after the rebuild failed or whatever, Rick Hahn went up to Jerry Reinsdorf and told him he needs to fire him. He told Jerry that he needs to fire him. And Jerry still didn't want to fire him. That was the story that he gave. I don't know if I believe that. Had the skills, couldn't get his command sword. Yeah, TLR the GOAT. I miss the days where we were just getting on here and talking smack about Tony La Russa every night. That was a great time.
Yeah! No balls.
Yeah, I think that trade happened. I want to say it was like Kenny Williams like came in and made the trade from under him because he was friends with Kim Ng or something like that. TLR, yes. With the hat. Is that a hawk? Hawk and a hat? Nice. Hawkaroo.
Come on, come on, come on!
Hey! Ah!
What do you think of
0-1.
what's this guy's name? John Shriffen? Is that his name? What do you think of John Shriffen? It is a hawk. There's Jerry. There was never a shortage of TLR content, right? It was like the White Sox were trying to be a TikTok team for the trends, except the trends were just Tony La Russa. They were like the other direction of TikTok. Shriffen's a really nice guy. That said, he has a lot to learn to be a baseball play-by-play guy. I agree with that. Like, he seemed like he had a nice voice when I first like heard him talk, just in interviews and stuff like that when he first got hired.
Oh, that's a
I was like, okay, I'm willing to give him a shot. But I feel like he like doesn't understand like the context of what's happening in a game. His calls make no sense to me. He'll rip like a crazy, like excited home run for like a solo shot in the first inning.
1-2.
And then they either all kind of sound the same or like the ones which need a little bit more context, like he doesn't give any. Very likable. On air, eh. Like I thought Jason Benetti was a little quirky. Like everyone thought he was quirky. But I thought his home run calls were like whatever sometimes. But at least like the energy when he made a call was always spot on. Like he fully understood the White Sox. He fully understands baseball. His excitement level was always like exactly perfect. It's okay to say. They got slightly better over time. I have nice things to say about Jason Benetti, but yeah, like I think the one thing that I didn't really like were his like
That missed. That's a ball.
were the actual calls. But at least the energy
Full count.
was like it made sense every time he was getting excited to me. John Shriffen, I don't understand like what goes on his head. He does the research and says the right things. That's why I kind of didn't like the combo of him and Steve Stone, because some level they're kind of too similar. Kind of similar energies at times. And they're just like knowledgeable guys. Even though like obviously Jason didn't play the game or anything like that to be a color guy like that, but he's a franchise guy. He's okay. I was sad to see him go. I feel like him and Hawk, I thought were, because I think him and Hawk did some games together, right? Like when Steve was gone. I feel like that's the combo. I feel like I'm only a White Sox fan because of Hawk Harrelson. Also super nice, yeah. Seems like a excellent dude. I don't know if I've never heard anybody say that Hawk was a nice guy, but shoot, I'll be darned if Hawk wasn't the reason I'm a White Sox fan. It's kind of the difference too of like wanting to watch a bad baseball team. I feel like I could watch a bad baseball team if they have the right people in the booth. And I don't think I could watch the White Sox be bad with John Triven in the booth.
0-2.
It's great until his last 10 years. I feel like the last 10 years is all I watched of him. So I don't know if I can really say one way or another. I could understand if someone would sour on him over time. But like kind of have only known, I would say, started watching like 08, I want to say. And he probably retired in 18. Yeah, so about 10 years. He just like did not give an F at that point.
The designated hitter, Juan Soto.
Yelling at umpires, yelling at Steve Stone. Going silent for minutes at a time.
Foul.
Used to be the GOAT. In the last 5, we'll say he was pretty brutal. Which parts? Like his calls or like his like attitude in the booth? He was definitely like, you could tell he was like moody, but I don't know. Still, like even then,
He's in there.
felt like so much of it was just, I could tell that he just wanted the White Sox to win. And I kind of didn't watch enough other sports or other teams or anything like that to really hear what like impartial or even just like normal commentating was. So that's like all I really knew of sports was Hawk Harrelson. I was like, okay, cool. Like everybody's just, they really love their team, you know? But it turns out that's not the case. That was just Hawk. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? The long periods of silence trying to push new catchphrases. Fair. Rally killer number 1. Now, don't stop now, boy. It was over as soon as he said that. Yeah.
That's in. Ball.
And then you heard Joe Buck. True. I also was like not huge on the... Oh my god, I just messed up twice.
Got him.
That's tough. I gave up a run because I messed up 2 yellow throws. I was never really on the Joe Buck hate train necessarily. Even like We Will See You Tomorrow Night. I think that was when it kind of peaked. But even then, like at the time, I thought it was a vibe. Like going back and listening to it, it does sound kind of lame. I know that it was like a nod to his dad or whatever, but at the time when I heard it, I was like, it did kind of feel like a vibe, I'm not going to lie.
Ball.
When the team loses a lot, there isn't much radio to get behind when your team is beaten into oblivion.
That's up. That's a ball.
Also true. Instant K and grounded into a double play. True. Hit the bag one time. Same TBH. He's fine. It sounds like over prepares and it doesn't sound exciting. And as a professional, you want to be prepared. True.
That's a ball.
I think people have chilled on him a little bit more recently anyway. I think he has gotten better. Just early. As fine as a national guy, people just like to get mad. There are far worse. True. It's the spontaneousness that helps us empathize because we feel the same. Yeah, and I think there's probably... Maybe I pay attention to it a lot more now. When I was younger, like I didn't really pay attention that much to who was commentating, to be honest. I'll pay attention a lot more now. But I feel like in the playoffs, I really don't notice too much when it comes to my own team.
The first baseman, number 35.
When it comes to baseball. But I noticed a very big difference in like some of the Bears games that I was watching. Like the Bears-Packers games. Those, I felt like the commentators were really with it. And then there were a couple games, maybe it was the Rams game or something, that like
Foul ball.
it just didn't feel like they were locked in. And it kind of killed the vibe at some points. See if they can drive someone home off the top of the wall. That's a good spot for it. Perfect. People have chilled because he only does one football game a week now. True. The A's lady. Oh yeah, that was rough. That was rough. I don't know if she's gotten better or what, but speaking of all this, I think they're doing the presentation like deep dive tomorrow for MLB The Show 26. Jessica Mendoza has been confirmed to be in the booth. I don't know if I've heard a ton of her, but I want to say, was there like a, did she and A-Rod do like a virtual call of the A's and White Sox playoff series? Were they the ones that were in it? That was funky too, because I think they were both remote. Not nearly as bad as the A's lady, yeah. I think I've only heard like a couple of lowlights from the A's commentator, but I don't know how it's been in the last couple of years. But the one or two lowlights that I saw were rough. The reason you don't like Joe Buck is because he likely made a call that went against your favorite team in an important game. I don't think he's a biased, but he does. But does he run off on stupid tangents? Absolutely, all commentators do it. The funniest has got to be like the Chris Collinsworth, Patrick Mahomes thing. The fact that he actually turned into a national meme and everything. And then I think he caught on to it too. Now he broke the fourth wall and he's like, someone will like kind of mention it and then he'll be like leaning into some kind of comment about Patrick Mahomes. Here on Yankees broadcast, I'm just happy I don't have to hear John Sterling anymore.
The right fielder, number 13, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Nope. Ball.
But yeah, this game I think it's Boog Shambi, and who's with Boog Shambi? I know like Matt Vasgersian with, who was it, Dan Plesac and whoever else was in there. I just feel like since they first changed commentators like 5-6 years ago, it's just gone really downhill in my opinion. Deep Dan Plesac was good. I didn't mind Matt Vasgersian. He had some funky stuff, but like to me, Matt Vasgersian was like the voice of MLB The Show. Dan Plesac is a psycho. I think some of those people just have their job because they won't retire. Absolutely. First thing I do every game is turn off commentary. Ever since like Matt Vasgersian left in this game, yeah, that's the same. The Yankees win guy.
That's inside. Ball.
But yeah, the last year or two have been absolutely grating to my ears. I turned it off. I really would turn off commentary just because of streaming. But now, like, even just playing casually, I can't listen to it.
Head on a tag.
So we'll see what happens for next year. We'll see what they bring us tomorrow. I think it sounded to me like Jessica Mendoza was just going to be a third person in the booth.
Ball.
But maybe they're also refreshing the whole cast, so I don't know. I don't think they really talked about it other than that, because it seemed like they kind of leaked it last week. Like they didn't want to tell anybody, but somebody asked and then they answered. So finally a good swing with Mike Trout. I think I've had a couple of bloop hits with him today. Try to take it to third. Barely safe. Mike Kruko and Dwayne Kuiper, absolutely. Nothing will beat MVP 05. Or however many games they were in.
Ball. 1-0.
I feel like I still quote MVP 05 commentary lines from time to time. Get through.
Got him.
I yearn for the mini games. Absolutely. Torpedo bat for this guy. I feel like they need some like head-to-head mini games. Home Run Derby's cool. I don't know if they just need to put stuff like that into Diamond Dynasty. Or what they need to do, but definitely I'd love to see some arcade going on. I don't know though, like maybe we've blasted our brains with too much baseball in the last 10 years that even if they were to make something in theory as magical as like the home run challenge and the mini games of MVP 05, I don't know if like if we're too video game brain rotted at this point to really enjoy it, even if it was in theory good. Ram shots to the moon. What do you think about my historical edge idea? I love it. I think it should 100% be a part of the game. The only thing that I could think of as like a counter argument is that maybe it becomes a little bit favoring to the pitchers, maybe. Because you can talk about Tony Gwynn was good against all those guys. Maybe there were a couple of the best hitters that were good against a few of the best pitchers. But I feel like they probably
That's a ball.
would take the advantage over the hitters.
1-0.
So I don't know how that would exactly play out. Feel neglected for sure. Sounds good, Eradicator. If I don't catch you before opening day, enjoy the season. But hopefully we'll see you soon. Still be streaming here
Now pitching.
up until then. Thanks for popping in, and I'll catch you next time.
Hee-haw.
Let's go. Put it on the board. Having a counter for the best pitchers,
Right two.
but we needed a reason for that counter to exist. Well, that's my worry, is that it would actually be the opposite. So I feel like, well, there's a couple ways that you could think about it. Like if you say this pitcher has 125 hits per nine, let's say, let's call it 100 hits per nine. This guy's 100 hits per nine, but that 100 hits per nine comes from the fact that over the course of their career, they were like 50% better than the average pitcher, something like that. However you want to look at that. And those hitters that they faced include the batters that we're talking about, that we're going to talk about, that will either get a boost or become worse against those pitchers. And their cumulative stats happened because they were better than a lot of the hitters. And so I think a lot of the hitters that we will have in the game will have already been worse than their own average. Let's see, a guy usually hits 280, but against this pitcher, these top pitchers that are in Diamond Dynasty, let's say they hit 200. And so even though that 100 hits per nine was already factored into the fact that they beat these hitters that many times, then they also get a secondary boost. So it maybe ends up being a little redundant, and I think probably favors the pitcher more often. That's the only knock I would have against it. That being said, I think there's probably like 50 different ways that you can work around that, and I think you can make it so that it becomes either a little bit more balanced, or maybe it's just a thing that you need at certain points of the year when you do need something to go in the pitcher's favor. There's probably times in the year where you get like I don't know, early on in the game
No, that's out.
maybe the hitters are too good and you need the pitchers to be better. Something like that. And then also, if that is the case, then maybe people will use like flashback hitters and legend pitchers or something like that, so that they don't have to face each other because they never faced each other in history. So I wonder if that would make some kind of avoidance patterns in like people's lineups. Don't know how many people had a huge edge over Randy, but maybe there are a few. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like Tony Gwynn might become like, now that's an interesting thing too, because Tony Gwynn cards at one point were like pretty good, but now they kind of fallen back because how much other good cards are out there with 5 tools. Tony Gwynn didn't quite have the power, but maybe because of that, some hitters become worse and Tony Gwynn becomes better, and they kind of evens them out. I could mash with Tony Gwynn. There was like a 2019, the same year that we were just talking about for this Frank Thomas card. That year where Tony Gwynn came out like right at the beginning of the year with like 80 or 90 power, that card was nasty. Idea to me is having at least a few counter options for people instead of having certain cards that are just much better than every other card. I agree. And I love the idea, and I love the idea of also like just the concept of more interactions with attributes, because I feel like sometimes they're just too... Oh no, we just blew the game. Yeah, there's like not a ton going on with the attributes from time to time. So those are the kinds of things that I want to see happen. So even with like my argument against it, like I think you just need a solution for that, something to balance it out. But I think generally like the concept, I definitely want that kind of thing to be a part of the game. Even fat Tony Gwynn was still XS 90 speed. Was it really? Was it a gold card? Or was that also like a high diamond? That would get you back in the game. I am really interested to see what they mean by these like parallel perks, I think they said. The red diamonds. Like it seems like from a couple of the pieces of information, it sounds like they are doing something for attributes this year. They've already talked about like the reaction time stuff and a couple other attributes that they've looked at, so that's cool. Those were not surface level, but they're not like the hugest impact in the world. But those other things I think have a chance to really change the way the lineups are shaped. And I do really hope they don't do what they did this year, where it was like, it was a pretty good, in my opinion, a pretty good power scaling from the beginning of the year until right before the All-Star break. And then as the All-Star break hit, everything just went crazy with these 99s, and I thought it wasn't fun to like build your team after that.
We got a full count.
I don't know if that's something that's solvable. If they like really need to have 99s at the All-Star break. But I really felt like that was a buzzkill, in my opinion. I think it was like his 3K hit card. Okay.
Let's go, Goose.
We'll see. There's a lot of stuff that happens like that where you just have a pretty good momentum, a pretty good cadence of content and new cards and everything, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if everybody else felt the same way, but for me, like it literally just ruined Diamond Dynasty for me. Right after the All-Star break, it didn't feel worth it to continue.
Now batting, the center fielder, Andrew McCutcheon.
But maybe that's just me. So you never know. Like even a great idea at the beginning of the year could get knocked down by one decision or one wave of new cards. But maybe that's why I still think the way that rosters are built needs to change.
Ball.
And so maybe there's a smaller tweak that they can make that can prevent big problems from occurring like that. Like maybe they can just change the way things work, so even if they did drop a bunch of 99s, it wouldn't like ruin team building. I don't play enough for Diamond Dynasty to really be viable for me. I get behind, and all of a sudden people spending so much time with the game have an advantage, but it's also boring when everyone has the same team. That's also another thing. I don't think... I feel like they believe that the more attribute diversity they have, the more different lineups people will have. And I think that's the opposite. I think the more you have more attributes mattering, the fewer cards become viable. Because if you have an outfielder right now with 85 reaction, let's say, but next year it turns out they have really good reaction like right and left, but they don't have any good reaction front and back, all of a sudden maybe that card is no longer a card that you can continue using the way you would have this year. And so maybe the opposite is true too, but the more attributes that matter, the fewer cards you're going to find that have those attributes at a high level. So I feel like the fewer cards become usable. And they keep saying stuff in their streams that are the opposite of that. They keep saying like, oh, we're giving you more attributes to have more like counterplay or like to go against your switch hitters and stuff like that. And like none of it's true. So I'm not really confident in that part of it, in lineup diversity. So we'll see about that part, but at least there are generally just a lot more good cards in the game. So I guess that's something. Try to have a different team, try to be defensive and speed line drive hitting team. They weren't viable against all power hitting teams. It's interesting because like that is probably like if you had those teams on paper in real life, like that would probably be exactly true in how you would build out your best team. But it's just not like there's not enough actual power hitters like that in real life. So it's more of a matter of like it doesn't reflect real life rosters, even though it does technically in theory would reflect real life strategy if that's what the rosters looked like. So they have to, that's why I keep bringing up the roster construction thing, because I don't think it's actually like we can't just, and I know you're not saying that right now, but I have heard people talk about it before, is that you can't just say like make line drive hitters better, because well in reality the only reason why line drives mattered so much previously is because there weren't enough power hitters, or like in one lineup you're not going to have that many power hitters. But in a Diamond Dynasty you have 9 guys that can hit for home runs. And so that's why I keep harping on roster constructions, because that's the only way to make it more like real life without actually nerfing how power should work, etc., etc. Good morning, Zach. How are you, sir? You just wake up? And so, like, I don't know, salary caps, people have talked about those kinds of things. Maybe ranked seasons becomes more like events. Like, there are probably other ways to do it. I'm glad I don't have to be the person to make those kind of decisions. But those are the kinds of things that could work. There you go, Gary. That's for you, Nats fan. Dude who I believe and or have gathered that he devours food. Yes, sir. How you doing? How you doing? That was the year when they were really trying to push line drive hitting players as being viable.
It's 0-1.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what happened, right? Is like they did make line drives a lot better, but in doing so, power hitters got even better. Which is true. Like if a power hitter can hit for more straight balls instead of pop outs and ground outs, yes, he's gonna be better too. And so I don't think they like considered that as part of what would happen. or the people who were constantly asking for line drives maybe didn't realize that either. But yes, like in terms of physics, like that's probably true.
1-1.
The way it all worked out, it's just like sometimes it's hard to see that result when you're asking for something like that. Remember why they were really pushing for it to be never good, and it never even kind of was true. I feel like line drives did get better, but then like there's also the fact of like hits per 9 going through the roof, and then all of a sudden like your hits per 9 is going to affect how many line drives you hit, and so we don't really know how those interact, right? Like, yeah, your PCI shrinks, and yeah, your PCI gets bigger as you get more contact, but we don't know, like, is 80 contact versus 80 hits per 9, is that the same math as 125 hits per 9 versus 125 contact? Because I think the PCI is smaller in that situation, right? So I think as they both get higher, I think the pitching starts to take over, right? So as pitchers get better throughout the year,
That's a ball.
it seems like the line drive hitters are going to get even worse. So then it becomes a power game again, just because of the way the attributes work as they both scale up. So even if you were to solve it, like let's say, because I think that might be one of the years too where like at the beginning of the year, everybody was really enjoying the game. And then like they said, I think after one patch, people didn't like it anymore. And I think part of that was also for that reason. Like hits per 9 started going up, and I think it was stronger than contact. Power hitters usually need to really line up the ball to hit it out of the park, but in the game you were the one controlling the swing accuracy. No, I just haven't felt good today, so I feel like I woke up, dang. No naps or anything. Hope you're feeling better now.
1-1.
How's things? Get up, ball. Going foul. Need to really line up the ball to hit it out of the park. Yeah, they even say like you get worse power hitting the higher contact you get. Like in terms of actually launching the baseball. So if someone feels like, oh, I'm not hitting home runs, then they try a card that actually has less contact and it feels better for them. So like, yeah, you might find a middle like great swing with a guy with higher contact you get rewarded for less because the game feels like it's redundant if they were to give you power and contact at the same time.
No balls. 2 strikes.
That's part of that shows up in the game strategy manual or whatever. They say like a guy with 90 contact, 125 power is going to hit more home runs than a guy with 125. So then a player figures that out, like feel wise. Maybe they don't know about that being the way the attributes work, but they might figure it out feel wise, like, oh, Joey Gallo feels better to me. And so, yeah, it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Took a nap earlier, unfortunately, with how the Maryland weather has been. My allergies are kicking mob, but I feel that. I was pretty congested today. Still am. It's nice and warm for a few days, and I think it's going to get cold again this weekend for us. See if we can lock this one down. So yeah, all that to say, the way that they provide cards for us especially after the 99s come out, the way that the cards are presented and the way it's just like, okay, here are all your cards, whoever you want, put them in your lineup, good to go. Pretty much have to do power hitters. And that's why I think before the 99s come out, the game's a lot more fun, is because it's not that you don't have to do power hitters, it's that you actually really get penalized if you don't do power hitters. Sorry, it's you, yeah. You're gonna take a penalty in other attributes if you don't do if you only focus on power hitters at the beginning of the year. But as the year goes on and like you get your 5-tool players, it's like why wouldn't you do a 5-tool player? Because the game doesn't penalize you for that at that point. So it's more of like putting constraints, like you almost have to put fake constraints on. That's what I'm kind of getting at, is like to make it more interesting, they almost have to put more like fake constraints on us, which I don't think would go over well with a lot of people. So it's like it's a hard thing to figure out. That's why I'm glad I don't have that job. We blew that game, came back and still won it. Thank goodness. There's Mike Trout, Gary Sanchez, both parallel 5 now. I got time for one more game. Any predictions for the World Baseball Classic? Not really. I know there were some issues with some of the rosters. I don't know if that all got sorted. I'd have to just assume Japan again. But I haven't really been looking into how the rosters are looking or anything like that. I know there have been some injuries and some insurance issues. Japan has Shohei, end of story, true. And Munetaka Murakami. Or Munetaki Murakami. If you know, you know. There you go. There's Shohei. I faced this card in the first game of the day. Did not do well against him. Let's see what happens here. Chicago knows. Whoever's doing the name cards in the locker room did not know, apparently. I was looking at, people were asking last week or the week before, or discussing like whether Murakami's going to be good or not. Usually talking about like his swings versus fastballs or like his strikeout percentage, stuff like that.
Counts full.
I was watching him swing, and his swing is kind of weird. I don't know if it was just because it was like a batting practice swing, but he's got one of those swings where like the bat doesn't stay in the zone for very long. So as of right now, if that's how he actually swings, I think, yeah, he's going to get exposed pretty quickly. I don't know if it's going to be something that changes, or if he'll just have the plate discipline to not swing it, to only swing at his like happy zone. But I certainly wouldn't expect him to be much of a contact hitter at all, the way he's swinging, the way his swing looked to me. The plumber didn't know. Big swing from Corey Seager. Much different than the Shohei I faced a couple games ago. At this point, like, I feel like I was swinging just good enough
0-1.
that I honestly do feel like that first game was due to playing in a Major League Park. I felt pretty late on everything. 100 off the bat. Decent launch angle. It's only 400 to center. Thought that one had a chance. Oh, for the bidets. Yeah, true. You did not know? That one was really just late. Very much so. I think the manager said, Will Venable, the manager of the White Sox, I think he was saying that he used to live in Japan when his dad used to play baseball there or something. And so he was very familiar with the bidets. So as soon as Munetaka mentioned them, he's like, yeah, make it happen.
0-2.
He's the Ted Lasso of the United States of America. Or of Japan, however you want to look at it.
Batting second, the designated hitter, Juan Soto.
But yeah, after seeing like big zone hitting and all that kind of stuff, made me want to go back to no PCI swing just to see how it would feel. So far, so good. First game that we played, I think I only scored a couple runs, but I was playing on my TV the other day, and I think I made 6 different people quit.
Ball.
And so far today, after that first loss, I think we got 2 wins.
Ball.
So I definitely don't feel like I'm swinging any worse than I was with the PCI on. So It's always just been a problem of like once the PCI gets really small, and I'm playing on like Hall of Fame and Legend, then it becomes really difficult to square up the ball. But now with big zone hitting, I feel like I can kind of level the playing field. It's basically going to feel like playing no PCI. Assuming I can turn off like the swing feedback, because it does kind of show you the way that it kind of looks like a guess pitch when you're waiting for the ball to come in. So if there's a way to turn off the visual clutter, I'm going to have a good time. Like right now, hitting still feels very natural. Like there's no... Today I have not second guessed like whether I should be using the PCI or something like that. Everything feels very natural.
1-2.
See if this one goes. Yep. This time it's not just straight away center field. It goes for 388. I still don't feel like I'm really turning on the ball
0-1.
on fastballs, which I used to be able to do. But, you know, still hitting for some power, so it's fine.
Move it.
That's it out. Outside ball.
Tatis, I feel like he hasn't really done much today. There you go, flip one out for a single. I feel like I've squared up the ball with him a few times, but they really haven't gone anywhere. And a lot of like line drives to the infielders and stuff. PCA, I do feel like
0-1.
I can't catch up to the fastball with him.
Hey. 0-2.
Swing's a little bit rigid or something. But his previous cards, when I would use them in like co-op or events or whatever, I feel like I did really well with them. It's the whole reason why this card is on the team. Just feels like I can't square anything with him. I've also had some bad lineouts with him too.
Oh, there we go.
Have the Cardinals done anything this offseason?
That's a ball.
They traded away Donovan. What's his name? Brendan Donovan.
He's out.
Have they done anything else this offseason? Traded away Arenado.
The first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Traded everyone, true. Who else do they have to trade? Right down the middle. Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras. Oh, dang.
No, that missed. That's a ball.
Be patient.
Ah. 1-2's the count.
This is the guy you should get from the Rockies next, Chris Bryant. Got Arenado from them. Why not Chris Bryant?
With the Cowboys, the second baseman, Trey Turner.
I think I saw a report today that like he's still in pain. Doesn't even know if he'll be able to play. Just keeps getting worse for him.
0-2. Ball. 1-2.
I thought that dude was going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Unfortunate.
Let's go.
He's out.
That Cubs team really fell apart after they got traded. Baez had some of the worst like offensive seasons in history or something like that. Rizzo did okay with the Yankees, but I don't think he was like amazing with the Yankees. He's kind of like a defensive contact guy, I think. On base kind of guy.
Ball.
No PCI. I also like to live dangerously. What's up, Greg? How you doing, sir? These were the days. Back in the day. This is just how we used to game. We as in me.
Leading off for the Outlaws, the shortstop, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Decided to try ChatGPT Plus for a month. What does Plus get you that regular ChatGPT doesn't get you? I'm asking this as someone who's I've never even been on ChatGPT. Because I'm an old head like that.
Are you kidding me? Come on. Let's go, Aaron.
Ball.
Experimented with it in MLB
Wow.
19. How did that go?
That's a ball.
I've been motivated to use it because of big zone hitting. I think big zone hitting is going to feel a lot like this. And so I'm going to give it a shot. And I wanted to get a feel for like how everything was feeling. I wanted to get an idea of how everything was feeling before trying that, and so far I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. 0-1.
See if Trout can get that. It's hit pretty hard. Nice. I almost overran that ball. Almost got behind it too much. No gaming monitor, results inconclusive. Fair enough. Maybe it's time to give it a try. Is anybody planning on using big zone hitting or just doing regular zone, regular PCI?
0 balls, 1 strike.
In my head, I'm all in because I think my PCI skills were like never great. My timing's never been incredible, or my reaction time's never been incredible. So even if I get worse, like my ceiling is not that high anymore anyway. So I feel like I can only I was gonna say I can only get better or get worse, which like yeah, obviously, but
No, that missed. That's a ball.
in any case, I think trying it's gonna make it more interesting. More fun. More fun to try something new. It was a weird throw in left field. Kind of like slung it from the hip.
Gary Sanchez.
Here, what?
Swing and a miss.
No balls, 1 strike. Back 2. 0-2.
Man. 2 cutters in spots that were hittable, and then fastball that I decided not to look for. Need to play more co-op, true. Only real ones remember when this was a common occurrence. In fact, the only occurrence.
Hike 3.
Remember when people would come in, Dan, and they would ask, why am I playing on directional? Those were the good old days.
Leading off for Austin, the left fielder, Mike Trout.
Are you going to play MLB 26, Dan? Directional PCI. You can't see my PCI because I'm using directional. Oh, man, I forgot about that.
That's out.
Directional was the strat for a bit. Was it the strat against knuckleballers? And soft swings, really. There were a couple of years where like analog hitting was meta, but that was like back in MLB 13 or something. School and summer job, gotcha. I feel that. It doesn't get any better.
Let's go, Carlos.
One.
After that, everything's a trade-off.
Get on your horse, go.
99 speed. Still got him. When your opponent brings in Rye Fire Bends, you switch from zone to directional and light him up. Outstanding move. Low key. The other move, other than just using directional, was to go no PCI with zone. Because everybody would be like, people used to like really get upset about knuckleballers to the point where they took him out of the game, out of Diamond Dynasty. But I never had a problem with him because with no PCI, it's actually not super hard to hit him, even with zone hitting.
Now batting, the first baseman, Frank Thomas.
Oh yeah. 0-1.
Pratino Itlo.
Did he go?
This is going to be one of those days where Dan goes through all my commands again. I even thought I had turned stream elements off at this point.
Nope, that's outside. Ball.
Seeing that meme and thinking, if they ever did a live-action Despicable Me, that's the guy I want as Dr. Nefario.
7. Second baseman, Trey Turner.
I don't even remember what the meme was. 98 off the bat, but it's hit super high. Good old days, probably 5:30.
Let's go, Vlad.
Might need colons in there.
That's inside. Ball.
See the stuff with the Discord leaks? No, I heard something, but that's it. I saw a couple of headlines, I should say, but I didn't see what happened. Was it the facial recognition stuff?
No, that missed. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Some Discord chats and voice chats were sold to a website for like AI learning,
Ball.
surveillance, or like targeted
2 balls,
stuff.
2 strikes.
Let's go. Come on.
Or any of the above. AI, okay. That's fun. That's a home run. That's a crazy swing. Now I know which pitch not to throw. Low and away sinker. Hasn't really done anything with anything else so far. That was low and away-ish, but it was off the plate.
Leading off for the Cowboys.
Seager's got a homer in this game.
Seager.
That's a ball. Ball.
Does that mean I can pay someone
Let's go, kid.
to turn me into, what's it called? What are the virtual streamers called again? VTubers? VTuber. Yeah. VTuber. Can I become a Zack Attack VTuber? Like my avatar is Zack Attack?
1-1.
So I can buy his skin online. That's crazy. Zack Attack starter pack. Kind of catchy. I feel like you could just make money off that alone. I want to wear his skin. So what if I do Silence of the Lambs? Oh yeah.
Now batting, the right fielder,
It's all coming together.
Trout.
Need to try to take one pitch the other way. Probably end the game right there. They're keeping me honest with some fastballs in, though. That was the pitch. Okay, Kronk. Oh, yeah. It's all come together. Gotta score one here. Please. I missed that.
No balls, 2 strikes.
I don't know about all that.
Punch him out.
Emperor's New Groove was an elite movie. Please, bro, I have ray gun. I'm not talking about the date break dancing kind. Do you guys see the more information about the ray gun situation? Apparently, it wasn't just like they didn't have enough break dancers or something like that. It was basically like in order to get into the Olympics, you have to have a committee, but then they created their own committee. It was like her and her husband or something. They made their own committee and they had tryouts and stuff. And then in the end, they obviously picked themselves. But then also the dance routine that she did was purely like her husband's idea. Like she was apparently like a decent break dancer or whatever. But then her husband was like, no, you got to do it like this. And then that was the result. So, like, on top of all that, they actually, like, probably cheated a bunch of people out of an opportunity to actually do some breakdancing.
Nope, ball.
Happened about 20 years ago, too. Oh, man. I'm kind of surprised, like, number one, that it doesn't happen more often. Number two, that at this point you wouldn't get caught right away. Especially, like, before even getting to the Olympics. Strange that a small communist island nation would have Winter Olympics. Please drop.
Now batting, shortstop Fernando Tatis.
Two older white people. Intriguing. Skiers, okay. It's like Cool Run-ins, but in reverse.
2. 0-2.
There you go. Past the first baseman. Aaron Judge. We're going to stay at first. Didn't show up for their sport or the closing ceremonies. Okay.
The first baseman, number 35, Frank Thomas.
If you're going to say that they were just there to, like, they just did all that so they could get, like, a free ride and tickets to the Olympics, that would be pretty cool.
Leading off for the Outlaws, the center
To
fielder,
watch the Olympics, basically.
Beltran.
Citizens send them to the Olympics. They could walk in the opening. And then, like, just watch the events. How many athletes are participating in the Olympics? Anyone want to guess? I'm going to say 800. Nobody else knows what happened to them? What the... This dude is playing on directional. What a bum. What's up, C-Mac? Would a bum have the lead? 2 whole runs on All-Star in the 7? 3,000 participants is Matt's guess. How you doing, sir? Are you playing MLB 26? Like 3 years later. Shoot. Man, I don't even remember what happened that day, to be honest. Oh, was that the day that you tried no PCI? It's starting to come back to me. It's more than 800 and lower than 3,000, okay? In that case, I feel pretty good about our combined guesses, Matt. I'm going to say 1,200 then.
Get it in gear. Oh.
2916. Oh, dang. That was pretty much spot on. We were both correct. Both of us were very close. No PCI for like months, and you come to my stream and jokingly say I was on directional. We were just talking about that earlier today. Like when I started stream, I was like, back when I used to actually like do this in 2018, 19, however long that was. All the new people would come and ask why I'm playing on directional. So then I had to pass it on to you, and now you're passing it back on to me. So full circle. The circle of life.
Ball.
I had to come say something. Sounds good, man. Have a good night, sir. Thanks for coming in for the harassment. I appreciate that. That was your trap to get viewers? Exactly. I guess I have to stop my low effort titles.
One more time.
I guess it's a sign. Alright, just get the one out, please. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Likewise. Hopefully you're still on Overwatch, too. We were doing some crazy stuff. Remember back in the Showdown grind, I tried to play Showdown from the pitcher's camera? I think I almost beat it one time, too. I think my favorite, though, was the 1-inning challenge. Nothing will beat the 1-inning challenge. The fact that I almost made World Series. I think I made Championship Series in the one-inning challenge. The fact that I got to like 800. The range question meaning that the top half that were close to the actual answer. So point map. Nope, it was in between us. It was in between us, so we both win. Sorry, I don't make the rules, but I do.
Now pitching. Okay.
That's too bad. Yeah, that was a lot darker than I thought it was going to be, Matt. No one happened to them. They walked, and then nobody knows what happened to them. To be honest, like, that almost feels like the best way to do it, because if nobody else on that island like skis, and so they used a sport where nobody like would really question, well, they might have questioned it a little bit, but nobody was like going to lose their spot because these people were doing something shady. And in the end, they just get to like walk and maybe get to enjoy the Olympics. I'm guessing that stuff's not free anyway, so it's probably not super helpful, but they get the inside view. As opposed to like the ray gun stuff, they actually scammed some people in order to get there. Closer to 2916 than 800. No, I think it's close enough. I think that's a pretty fair split, so I think I should get points for that too. ski event where every country is allowed to have a participant no matter what.
Ball. 1-1.
Maybe we should look into how hard it is to make a country. Then we can each, like... We can all just be on the skiing team, I think.
Nope. Ball.
Great start to the 9th so far.
Knows the count.
I think Chapman has blown saves in both games that I've put him in.
Hey. 2 balls.
Did he give
1
up the
strike.
walk-off in the Colorado game?
That's a ball. That's inside.
Pull our money together to buy an island? I'm down. As long as we mostly use Greg's money.
Missed. Ball 4. Take your base.
Now batting,
Did you end up taking that job, Greg?
Beltran.
Or interviewing? I forget if you had already interviewed by that point.
0 balls. 1 strike. Hit it right. Hey.
Swing and a miss. $800. Greg's used $300,000. That's an even split. Perfect. I love it. Haven't heard from them? Maybe for the best. Sounded a little sus. You know me, I just want to make it fair. I'll put up my 800.
Now pitching, Abner Uribe.
We were talking last week, I think, about like Mark Cuban buying a town or something like that to make the Dinosaur City or whatever. I wonder if you can just like, can you just buy the town and then instead of making it a town, just make it a country?
Yeah, on the tag. Got him.
I feel like if we're just putting up borders, why not make it a whole country at that
Balls, 1
point?
strike.
Don't think that one's gonna drop. Probably should pinch run. Is it Gary at second base? I don't know if I have a backup catcher. Let's find out. We do have Joe Mauer. So let's go. Do I put in Griffey? Let's try Griffey. Is Arkansas even really a state? Best the U.S. wouldn't even realize if they seceded. True. I think that's a valid point.
The first baseman, number 35, Frank Thomas.
I missed that. Just on top of it. This is feeling a lot like that Colorado game. Okay, so Griffey, I'm gonna put him in for PCA.
Leading off for Austin, the first baseman, Vladimir
What is happening?
Guerrero Jr.
Should I have better defense right now? Probably. Doesn't matter though. You get 1 pop out.
Come on, Bryant.
That's a ball.
Seems that not hearing from them doesn't necessarily spell doom.
Yeehaw.
There's an explanation, but I feel like looking up right now.
1-1.
Fair enough.
Yeehaw.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry if I missed it. What was the difference between regular ChatGPT and ChatGPT Pro?
No, 2 late.
Save it first. I was trying to throw to third, but I think he dropped the ball anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
No, that missed. That's a ball.
I wasn't looking at my player.
One ball, no strikes.
You guys probably saw better what happened than I did, but I was looking at the runners the whole time. Tatis did hit a sinker for a homer earlier in this game. Early access to new features, access to more powerful version of chat, more image generation. Okay.
Ball.
I think it was an up and in fastball that Soto hit for a homer and a low and away sinker to Tatis. Ooh, right at him, thank goodness. Seemed like he was on that baseball. O'Day going for 14 plus pitches. Nope. And again, we have no speed at second base there. Should I go to Tommy Edman, maybe? Who is Troy Melton? I've never heard of this man. Troy Bolton? Second, third, short. Rooker does not play first. Do I have anybody that plays first? I don't think so. Might not be able to play. There's probably some secondary position that I could use, but it's probably not worth it. It's going to be a defensive game. I can't give up like a first baseman dropping a ball. Most likely it'll lead to a run, so I can't take that risk. I mean, that pitch was 2 feet outside, but it gets the job done, I guess. This is the situation I was in Colorado, and I think I popped out to second or lined out to first or something. Make it more convenient. Haven't even trying out my hand. Excuse me.
That's a ball.
My hand was forced. That's how they get you. I turned on 100 that time. Sinker, splitter, slider, cutter. It does not get through. Pump fake home. Throw to first. Need to get you to try curling. You know. Please get down. Holy dude. I always thought curling was like kind of intriguing. I kind of felt bad for all us US citizens making fun of it. But I've seen a decent number of curling clips in the last few days. I gotta say, I understand the hate now.
No, that's in.
The US loves it now, at least during the Olympics. I feel like the more I watch it, the less I understand why anyone would play this.
Now running at second base, number 7, Ray.
Caught him stealing third last inning. I don't think he's going to go again.
One and two's the count.
High and away sinker they've been hitting. I'll stay inside.
That's a ball.
There we go.
He did what I did. Alright, 99 speed at third now. Juan Soto, who's on deck? Mike Trout's got speed, so it's not like a double play ball can happen with Trout or Beltran. So we're just going to go ahead and do infield pretty much in. I like halfway because I feel like halfway you can still make a play at the plate. You get a couple more feet for an angle.
Nope. Ball.
Foul ball. So fun. Love the ice. Love the strategy. Love the camaraderie. I hear ya. We got a red throw, so it's tough. I don't know how he hit that ball that far. I feel like I had a pretty decent swings in that game. Many of the actors from the original show, I first saw the movie when I was 4, and it served as a catalyst for my interest in history. Really? Full-scale reconstruction of Independence Hall, Great Wall calendar, and vote board serving as theatrical pop props for the whole story. Very nice. I think I went 2-2 today, which resulted me in, I think, dropping rating. We got a lot of cards, friends. I have 11 World Series Rewind packs. I've basically just been opening my Diamond Guaranteed and Ball as a Habit packs. Always love using a Swiffer Wet Jet. That's crazy. But I understand. Totally get it. Thanks for watching, guys. I should be back next week. How far are we from opening day? Not opening day, but the new MLB The Show game. We are 1, 2, 3 or 4 weeks or something. When did it come out? The 12th? For early access. So even that day when I stream, 1, 2, 3 more streams until early access. Have a good night, sir. I gotta hop off. It's gonna be pretty shortish 2-hour streams for the next few weeks, but once MLB 26 comes out, hopefully I'll have a chance to play a few more longer streams, but we'll see how it goes. Never seen it anywhere. Only a handful of letters. May, June, July. Earlier today, took stills to ask ChatGPT, can we finish the rest of the alphabet? Oh, okay. So I'm assuming that helped. Can, but it's a bit unreliable. Even with Pro? Or did Pro solve it? Once I hear the end of the story, then I will hop off, but curious if Pro is able to solve it or not. Or was that the thing that got you to get Pro? Hasn't been able to perfectly replicate the existing letters. Okay. Interesting. Maybe it needs to learn some more first. Maybe you need to, maybe it's like a video game. You have to like find more pictures with the fonts in it, and then eventually it will learn. You can feed it to it, and then eventually it'll learn and it'll work. All numbers except for 5 are visible. In any case, I will see you next week. I'll see what ChatGPT can come up with in the meantime. Peace, y'all.